Let's get into every NFC West team's first round draft targets for the 2025 NFL draft. We've got the 49ers drafting 11th. They could take a look at wide receiver, offensive line, corner, safety, but I'm going to go edge rusher here for them. You got James Pierce out of Tennessee, who you could really take a look at. Jack Sawyer. People are laughing at me for saying that he's a first round pick, but I do think Jack Sawyer is a first round pick. I do. You got Mykel Williams as well out of Georgia. At number 11, that's probably who you're looking at if you're going to go edge rusher for the Niners, because outside of Nick Bosa, like, who do you have rushing the passer? The Niners were 24th out of 32 teams in the NFL in sacks last year. Bosa was 5th in the league in pass rush win rate, and the team was 15th overall in pass rush win rate at 41%. So we've seen the Niners year over year get a Javon Kinlaw, get a Javon Hargrave, get a Nick Bosa, get a Chase Young, like bring in multiple players at the position that can be very viable. And I think now is another time to do that. They've showed us that they can draft well in the trenches. So go and get yourself a defensive end, an edge rusher in this draft. Yes, I understand you could use a wide receiver after Debo leaving. The questions about Brandon Ayuk. You got Juwan Jennings and Ricky Pearsall. You take a look at the cornerback room. Really, you take a look at the defense, and it feels kind of odd to look at that depth chart now, but we know that they were very beat up last year. They lost Hufanga. They lost Hargrave, if I'm not mistaken. Ton of NFL free agency moves, so it's hard for me to remember every little thing. But the Niners have to go get an edge rusher. The Cardinals are drafting 16th, and I think there's no other position for them to look at than offensive line. And you can really take your pick between Kelvin Banks out of Texas, Will Campbell out of LSU, Josh Simmons out of Ohio State, Tyler Booker out of Alabama, Armand Membao out of Mizzou. Like, really take your pick between those guys. I think any of them will be there at 16. If I had to be realistic, I think Kelvin Banks and Will Campbell could be off the board. Maybe even Tyler Booker or Armand Membao. So, I mean, you're going to have your option. I don't think all 5 of these linemen are going to be off the board at 16th. The Cardinals were also 16th in the league at pass block win rate at 60%, 11th in the league at run block win rate at 72%. But overall, the reason for this pick is, like, we've seen Kyler Murray struggle year over year with a lot of subpar offensive line play in Arizona, and he's one of the most talented quarterbacks in the NFL today. He is. He might not win like you want. He might not have effort in the second half of the season like you want, but his talent is undeniable. It's undeniable at the position, and there's no argument for that. But he shouldn't have to always rely on his athleticism due to an offensive line letting him down. He should not have to do that. Although this year the O-line was solid, I'd say they only gave up 30 sacks, which was top 7 in the NFL. And their pass block win rate was decent. Their run block win rate was very good, I'd say, being 11th at 72%. But you got to go get an offensive line to protect Kyler Murray. I think that is a very, very important investment to make for the Cardinals at 16th. You have the Seahawks drafting 18th. I think also they're going to go offensive line. And again, take your pick: Kelvin Banks, Will Campbell, Josh Simmons, Tyler Booker, Armand Membao. Like, no question about that, right? They need to go get an offensive line because Sam Darnold will need all of the protection possible now being a Seattle Seahawk, because we know, I mean, a lot of quarterbacks can crumble under pressure, but like Sam Darnold really crumbles under pressure. like Sam Darnold really crumbles under pressure. So we need to sort that out for him. Seattle was 21st in pass block win rate at 58%. They were 28th in run block win rate at 69%. So they were bottom 3rd and bottom 5 overall in the NFL in those two categories. And they allowed the 3rd most sacks in the league with 54. Now, you could argue wide receiver because, yes, Devontae Adams is a little older. Cooper Kupp is older. I almost said Puka Nacua, but that's for the next team. You got JSN, who is, or excuse me, I did get it flipped up. Devontae Adams is a Ram. Cooper Kupp is a Seahawk. Excuse me. Y'all go ahead and flame me in the comments. I know that's how y'all do it before you even listen to someone correct their take. They got Cooper Kupp. They got JSN. Like those. Oh, and they have MVS. Those additions and that receiving core is solid. I say it's probably in contention for top 12, probably, in the league for, wide receiver trios or combinations, however you want to look at it. So I don't think that should stop them from going to get other guys at the position, because Cooper Kupp and MVS have both already celebrated their 30th birthdays. And corner in this need could be glaring as well because Devon Witherspoon really only that true guy I feel like that you trust in the secondary. But I think offensive line without question is the need for the Seahawks. Again, when you have Sam Darnold, we know how he is when he gets under pressure. Seattle being 21st and 28th respectively in pass block and run block win rate, so not being very good in those categories, giving up the third most sacks in the league. Go ahead and draft an offensive line. Go get you a Kelvin Banks out of Texas. Go get you a Tyler Booker out of Alabama if you need him. And then the LA Rams are drafting 26th, and I think they need to go grab a corner. No question about that. 3 of their 5 defensive backs are set to hit free agency next season. They were 20th in the league in pass yards per game given up defensively, 14th in the NFL with 13 INTs, and 13th in the NFL in passes defended, pass breakups with 73. So they're floating around middle of the pack in their secondary in the NFL, but they did have the 7th worst overall defense in yards per game given up. Yes, defensive yards per game given up, 7th worst. They were 20th in the league in pass yards per game given up. But all of that happened en route to a 10-7 record. So I think you go get Ben Morrison out of Notre Dame. I don't see Jahdae Barron or Will Johnson slipping to 26. We know that Travis Hunter is going to go very early on, like probably top 5 pick. But if those guys do slip, Jahdae Barron, Will Johnson, you got to go get them. If you think Maxwell Harrison out of Kentucky or maybe Trey Amos are worth the 26th pick in a first round, which they could arguably be, again, we have all these projections and these predictions about the draft, but if a trade happens, if a team doesn't select what you want, if a player falls, like it changes on the spot, right? So if those guys are in your wheelhouse or you think that they're going to be worth the pick at 26, go get them. Go get them. I think corner is the biggest glaring need for the Rams right now. So that was every NFC West team's best first-round draft target for the 2025 NFL Draft. The Rams drafting at 26 should go get a corner. The Seahawks drafting at 18th should go get an O-line. The Cardinals should also go draft offensive line at number 16. And then the Niners drafting at 11th. They should go get an edge rusher.
Hey, it's AJL here. Appreciate you sticking to the end of the video here on YouTube. You could have chose any other show, but you chose my video, and for that, I'm very grateful. If you haven't already, please make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Follow me on social media. Hit the bell on the channel so you never miss a post. Check me out on all social media platforms. Right here, you'll find a chance to subscribe to the show, a related video, and a playlist. See you guys in the next one.